Welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So, exciting day today in the political land of the United States. Pam Bondi has been released and relieved of her duties as head of the Department of Justice. To the surprise of few, I'm sure. Dave and I were joking, about doing a video on who would be the first to go. And at the time, it was kind of the competition between Hegseth and Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem. I think were probably our top three candidates. And so far, two of the three are gone. So Kristi Noem is gone. She's going to enter the private sector in a fantastic job that'll be named later, probably 2 weeks. So Trump basically got tired of her crap and let her go. She and Noem, I have to give him credit, man. Those two kissed his butt all the way to the bitter end. And that still wasn't enough. It's not enough to just be a suck-up. You still have to execute on his agenda and never, ever roll him under the bus. And Kristi Noem's big faux pas was she rolled him under the bus regarding that, was it $200 million vanity project showing her in videos and whatnot. And she said that Trump approved it, and he wasn't pleased about that. And then with Pam Bondi, it's a combination of the Epstein case, how she's really bungled the release of the Epstein file information, and not successfully prosecuting all of Trump's perceived enemies in the way that he wants them prosecuted. So she's out. I think Todd Blanche is going to be acting director. And there was another guy that Trump wanted to. He's been floating the idea of replacing, becoming the permanent person. Lee Zeldin, who's currently the head of the EPA. So the musical chairs has officially started. So I caught a brief segment on Michael Popok's Legal AF, and he was citing that there were sources saying that Pam Bondi was not happy about this whole turn of events and was shouting and pleading for her job and carrying on as they escorted her out. I have little doubt about that. So just for entertainment purposes only, let's take a look at what Trump was thinking, what Bondi was thinking, and where are we going from here? Entertainment purposes only. Oh, and I just want to give a shout out to Crystal Weatherby. Happy birthday, Crystal. I know this video will come out a day after your birthday, but Crystal's birthday is today. Today's Thursday, April the 2nd, so happy birthday. So Crystal, I know you're in Iowa, but maybe you flew to Hawaii and you'll catch this video before the calendar clicks over. So let's move right along for entertainment purposes only. How does Trump feel about this whole Pam Bondi and her role as the Attorney General of the Department of Justice? Oops. Well, you gave me no choice. I had to get rid of you. Lady Liberty has her hands tied. Yeah, so it just, he felt like she gave him no choice. He gave her, very simple marching orders, basically cover up the Epstein files and prosecute my political enemies and be my personal, make the Department of Justice my personal attorney. So her hands were tied. She has single-handedly destroyed the reputation of the Department of Justice, all to serve dear leader. And what did it get you? It got you fired. So how's Trump feeling about it? Yeah, he felt like he had no choice. Um, the chaos that was, so this is probably, it's the main motivation was the Epstein files, the chaos surrounding the Epstein files, and that energy underneath is the judgment card. Uh, I wanted you to prosecute my enemies and make them face their judgments, but instead the Epstein files, you completely botched it, and people are still up in arms about the Epstein files, and they want the information. In the past, you got the Page of Cups. She played the MAGA game plan to to the best of her ability, supporting dear leader and his crazy notions. Current energy is the Page of Swords. Time for someone new to come in and pick up the fight with some new ideas. Overarching energy is the Lovers. Just basically, their relationship came to an end. You know, she, like I said, she did all of the things that she needed to do to be loyal and placate him, but she was unable to be the partner that he truly wanted, which is the partner that successfully could prosecute all of his enemies. It's also, quite frankly, I think that's also signifying the Epstein files. Um, that Trump can't seem to break his relationship away from that as much as he would like. Lesson to be learned is the Chariot. Uh, Trump's ready to move on. You know what? He's all about, win, 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 and so tired of winning. And he wasn't winning with her, so the lesson here is, hey, I'm going to move on. You're not winning for me. I'm going to let you go. Um, Outcome is the High Priestess, keeper of secrets. That woman has a lot of inside knowledge. And so Trump he's really got to play this well because she has a lot of knowledge that could be very compromising to him in his future. So, given that little bit of insight, how is Pam Bondi feeling about this? Is she feeling like the woman scorned? Or is she like in relief that she doesn't have to, publicly kiss his butt every single time she gets behind a microphone? And like I said, Popak said she was kind of carrying on about keeping her job. But I don't know. We'll see. See what the cards say. It's entertainment purposes only. I could just be as wrong as anybody else on this. So, how's Pam Bondi feeling about this? Okay. How's she feeling about being let go? Eight of Wands. Kind of wonder. Is she going to become Fox News's next legal analyst? So this is about actions being taken over the airwaves. A lot of actions being taken. How's she feeling about this? Ace of Wands, but a new action needs to occur. So, how do I want to read this? How is she feeling? I think she felt like she did what she was asked to do. I took all these actions for you, but it's that one action with the Epstein files, probably, that tripped me up. Energy underneath is the Seven of Swords. This is making off with something when no one's looking. There was an article I saw that came out on Wednesday speculating that Trump was going to let her go, and Thursday he lets her go. For this is kind of this card. Once again, if it's the Epstein files, she's got a lot of knowledge and insight that she may how she had her burn book. She might have a little bit of a treasure trove, if you will, of documents or information that she's keeping with her to ensure that she lands on her feet. A little compromise, if you will. In the past, Three of Swords, the heartbreak and betrayal. I did everything for you. You know, the one action you wanted me to take, or there's an action that you wanted me to take that I couldn't do, and you let me go because of this. Current energy is the Four of Swords. Now she's going to have some downtime and the opportunity to think. God, a lot of swords in this reading. You know, is my career dead? What do I want to do with my next steps? I don't think she's kind of meted. You know, when Trump said, you know, she'll be returning to private industry and will announce something in a few weeks. That's, if you've ever been at a job and someone leaves the job and they either don't have a job lined up or they don't want to call out the real reason why the person is leaving. They just say this person is going to pursue other interests. That's exactly what Trump said. So when someone's pursuing other interests, what that means is they don't have a story to tell yet. And that's kind of where she's at. She doesn't know where she's going to land yet. She's got to think about what her options are. Overarching energy is the Queen of Swords. There's a truth that she can hold. Once again, a lot of swords. A lot of swords. There's knowledge there that she has. She's got insider knowledge that she might be keeping some of this. And she's thinking about what she's going to do with this truth. Because you broke my heart. You stabbed me in the heart. Lesson we learn is the Hangman. You're going to look at things differently. You are going to look at things with a different perspective now. Outcome is the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so Three of Pentacles, this is about collaborations. This is about working together to, if you will, this could be a plot. But it's definitely working with other people, a tight group of people on next steps, on what we want to do next. So it's what I'm getting from this is she hasn't figured out what her next steps are yet. She's not happy about the situation she's finding herself in. And she's got information. And whether she chooses to use it or not is in question. She's thinking about it. Right? So they got that. So what can we expect from our next Attorney General? So we've got Todd Blanche temporarily. It may be permanent. Let's see. But what are we going to get from the next Attorney General? Is this guy going to be Trump's puppet? Or is this someone that's going to try and restore the honor that the Attorney General's office, the Department of Justice, used to have, that they've lost? What are we going to see? Okay, there's your Page of Swords. They wanted someone new and willing to take up the fight and fight for their ideals. The challenge is the Three of Wands. The actions that Trump wants for the future. The person coming in is going to have the same struggles that Bondi had. But it's going to be Trump's person. This is the person Trump wants. So it's probably going to be that what's that guy's name? Lee Zeldin of the EPA. It's Trump's pick is Lee Zeldin. It's probably going to become Lee Zeldin. The energy underneath it is Trump's like, okay, I'm making you in charge of this. You do what I tell you to do. So I'm guessing it's going to be Lee Zeldin. In the past, you got the Three of Pentacles. That's so funny. That was Pam Bondi's outcome. That's in this past. I kind of wonder how long Trump has known he's wanted to let Bondi go. There was, in that article I was reading was, I think it was when Trump went to the Supreme, when he went to the Supreme Court, this Zeldin guy was sitting next to him. Or it was some event, and Pam Bondi was at the event. Lee Zeldin was at the event. And so clearly in the past, they've had discussions about this. He knows who he wants, and there have been discussions about this. I can't, I'm saying it's Lee Zeldin, but whoever this is going to be, this has been preordained. They've already figured out who they want to replace her with. Current, current energy is the heartbreak and betrayal, the Three of Swords. Yeah, okay, we got rid of her. Now it's your turn to step up and possibly be betrayed. Overarching energy is the Seven of Wands. You better defend the actions I'm taking. You better go after the people that I tell you to go after. Lesson to be learned is the Lover's card. Once again, it's Trump. That was the overarching energy for Pam Bondi, was that, either because of the Epstein files, and he can't divorce himself from that. And that's the lesson to be learned here, is he wants to make sure he is not associated with those Epstein files. And you better take whatever actions you can to get me off of those things. Fight the good fight. Do what I tell you to do. We talked about this. Don't, you know what I'm capable of doing. I'll let you go if you can't defend me, and get my name off of those Epstein files. Outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so for the next person, the outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. It's the opportunity to either bring some new information forward or show your value to me. Here's your chance to show what you can do for me. This is definitely going to be another Trump lackey. I'm not getting the Ace of Pentacles as restoring the Department of Justice reputation. To me, that would have been the Ten of Pentacles, the legacy card. Ace of Pentacles means I'm gonna do what you tell me, boss. If you think this is what we want to do, I'm gonna follow your orders. Lovely. More of the same. Gotta love that, right? All right, then that's what I've got for you. I don't know if Dave and I are going to do a reading tonight. I texted him to see if he wanted to do a twin reading. I've not heard back from him, so I just went ahead and did this reading. I imagine that Dave's going to do this on the Tarot by the Bay channel, so check that out. Thank you so much for tuning in and sitting through this with me and not David. So Crystal, happy birthday. I brought your boyfriend with me here because you were asking where is he? There he is. I do want to give a shout out to Susan Francis. Hi, Susan. Susan's in Australia. I'm pretty sure you're in Australia. But in fact, I know you're in Australia. So Susan is one of the... When I'm responding to comments, there are certain people that I look for because I start with the newest comments and I work my way back. So when I get to Susan, I know I've only got about an hour's worth of comments to catch up on. When I get to Alf Carlson, I know I'm at the beginning of the comments for that day's video. So I know I'm almost answered all of them. And Crystal's about 2 or 3 hours in. So if I get Pick and Duck, Donald, I know that's about 4 in the morning my time. Crystal's about 3 in the morning. Susan is about 1 in the morning, and Alf is at midnight. So that's how I tell where I'm at. So Susan, thank you so much for your thoughtful contribution to the channel. You got your card is the Seven of Cups. Yeah, I don't always believe everything that's out there. Totally appreciate you though. And then a card for the rest of us. Page of Pentacles. Here we go. Stand up for what you believe in. Hold your morals, values, and ethics high. Our administration doesn't. And we know everything they do is pretty much wrong and bad and done the incorrect way. So just go the other way and you're probably doing everything just right. Anyways, I hope you all have a great day. Take care, folks. Bye.